All right, viewers all over the world, my name is Dr. K, and today we want to deliberate on a topic very, very important as far as the medical sector is concerned here in Nigeria and in Africa. So please, let's meet you, ma.
Okay, I'm Nurse Amara. Hi.
Ma, can you remove your hand from your pocket? Are you cold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just feeling my vibe as a nurse. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This
So,
is
Nurse Samara,
Yeah.
and can we meet you, sir?
Dr. Philip.
Dr. Philip. All right. The reason why I brought up this, I'm about to bring up this topic rather, is something that has looked into deeply. A lot of our colleagues are traveling abroad to the UK, to Germany, to Paris, to France, to America, because they got offers over there. So this is a straight question to you, Nasamara. If you have the opportunity to work here in Nigeria as a professional nurse that you are, and to work outside Nigeria like abroad, will you stay back and work here in your country, or you will travel over there?
I mean, for me, I think the answer is very much visible.
We can see it.
For real, we can
Okay.
say.
Okay, don't worry. So, I think I prefer to travel and work over there
Why?
than work here in Nigeria.
Why?
Very, very big question. Why?
Okay, first off, there's room for knowledge advancement over there, right? Medically, there are a lot of things to actually learn when you're there. When it comes to like the
Sorry,
surgeries.
sorry. I hope you don't mind. Let me just be taking note
Oh
for your
yeah,
point.
please,
All
please,
right.
why not?
So
Sure,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Yeah, sure. So yeah, like I said, there's room for knowledge advancement, right? So
Okay.
you have room to gain more knowledge about what you're doing, especially in the field where you belong, right?
Okay.
Then the second reason why I would prefer to work over there is the facilities that are there. I mean, you cannot even compare it to what we have in Nigeria. Like you cannot even argue that one. The facilities we have there, we have a lot of things that when it comes to maybe surgical issues and all that, there are a lot of equipment that are made available for a particular kind of surgery and all that. But
And
here in
and you
Nigeria, you
think we
cannot
don't
find
have
it.
them here?
Where? No, now take me. Which hospital?
Okay.
Where take me there? Which
I don't
hospital?
want to mention name, but there are good hospital, big hospital here
Very
that
good.
have a
That is
lot of,
what we would choose
surgical.
to believe, and I get it. No, I mean, I don't want to rub it on our faces,
Okay,
but I get it.
hold on. No, Samara, I've been to some
Good
establishment, medical
hospitals.
good establishments here in Nigeria that have good facilities.
Facilities.
Okay.
All right, and if I want to support you on a note, I would say the cost of running those facilities here is a bit high. If you say that, I can agree with you because of steady power supply.
But
But
why
on
shouldn't there
that,
be power supply? I
hold
mean,
on,
this
hold
has a
on.
lot
No,
to
No,
no,
do
but
with
that's
you
life.
that's
just talked
another
about, you
topic.
talked about,
Okay.
that's on that
We'll
topic.
deal with
Oh,
that.
okay. No,
Okay,
We'll,
so
I
we'll,
agree.
continue.
we'll deal
I
with
So
that.
agree.
continue.
So yeah, I've mentioned two now, right?
Yeah.
Then the third one is value for services. I mean,
Va-
over there they regard,
value for services.
yes, they regard nurses like, I don't want to like place God and they put nurses afterwards, so it doesn't look like I'm trying to level the whole thing. But when it comes to our services here in Nigeria, it's 0 over 100. I'm not even gonna cap about it because everybody's just looking like, I mean, it's your responsibility. You need to do it as a nurse. It's your responsibility. You need to like save lives. You need to do this. You need to do that. But over there, as a nurse, they hold you to high esteem. You're respected in the society. I mean, name it. When you just come and say your name is nurse this, there's this high esteem, there's this like kind of respect that surrounds the fact that you're just a nurse working over there. But here in Nigeria, no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's a no-no.
I'll come back to you. Let
Okay.
me go to Dr. Philip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Dr. Fee Samuel, will
Yes.
you prefer to work here or to japa when you have the opportunity to japa?
Think about it. You don't have to rush. Just think about it.
I know he wants to japa so because it's a thing
No,
of
not
everybody.
really. That's the thing. Not
Okay.
really. Not really. So let's look at it from this angle. I understand your sentiment with wanting to prefer employment abroad.
Mm.
with the stories you probably heard, and maybe you have contacts there.
Not stories I heard. Things are happening. Yeah, so I had to cut you there.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
But personally,
Yeah.
it is good to jackpot. No, let me not use the word jackpot, to travel out,
Mm-hmm.
be exposed, get
Mm-hmm.
some experience.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I prefer to reside here, be a resident doctor here, and do my job.
Why?
Good question.
Okay. The first question I'm going to pose, I still have things to cross-examine when it
Mm.
comes to your reasons why you've chosen there. And there's nothing wrong with them. Okay.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just give some reasons. But personally, how do we improve the medical situation, the other doctors that are coming after us? How
Mm.
do we improve the services we provide? How do we improve on everything about medicine in this country if all of us choose to japa?
Hmm.
You're actually
Hmm.
forgetting the fact that most of all these people traveling, like Japan, for instance, like I mentioned, is to gain more knowledge. Some of us literally even still travel to get this advanced knowledge still over there. But yeah, now I think I should throw the question back at you. Why can't we have that kind of knowledge here? Do we necessarily have to keep traveling?
Oh, okay, okay. Let's start with
Oh,
the.
okay, before you answer that, I want to ask you a question on that, your question. What
Okay.
makes you feel we don't have this kind of knowledge here?
What makes me think we don't have that kind of knowledge here?
Yeah.
Because tested and trusted, basically. I know I've not been to all the schools per se to
Okay.
be able to tell that, okay, this school teaches better when it comes to medicine,
Okay,
and
I
this.
have one of our senior colleagues that used to be, not used to be, that's my friend. You know, I remember they told me that if I call the name of the country, you'll be amazed that the government invited him because of how much he's vast when it comes to medical. Like, it's not a country you can just go to the embassy and get ticket and travel to. Do you understand?
They consulted him
To come.
So, like, he's in Nigerian,
Yes,
and consulted
he's a
abroad.
surgeon.
1 out of 1,000.
No,
That has to be the statistics. One out of
Go ahead.
1,000.
Continue.
So again, everybody watching, just understand, I'm not against people traveling. You're asking why must we travel abroad to get
Gain more
this
knowledge,
So
yes.
let's start from the history, the beginning of everything.
Okay.
I would say that what we had before now, we just had traditional healers and all
Yeah,
that.
very true.
So
Correct.
the advancement of the science that we practice today as doctors did not really start from here, right?
Yeah.
We had to allow the Westerners educate us, get us to this point. Now, what I expect you to look at is, why are we not taking the knowledge that has been imparted on us by the Westerners and looking deep into our traditional healing methods and try to marry the two? Do you understand?
Deep.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I would say that's what the pharmaceutical, our pharmaceutical colleagues are meant to be doing. Do you understand? We are also part of it, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, I
So
feel
we
you.
ought to put hands together and do that research. So if somebody is saying XYZ product as a herbalist, right? Is saying this heals this, it's our duty to check it, investigate, and say, okay, I think if you add this together, we might be breaking into a new solution for this. So that's what I expect you to ask. So as per knowledge, yes, it's okay to travel abroad. Now we have colleagues like yourself. We have
Yeah,
colleagues as
yeah.
doctors. Dr. K can bear witness that went to Germany and did a course for 1 year. And when they came back, boom, their salaries were increased. They were specialists in that particular field.
Why?
Oh,
Because
when
they
they came back.
traveled.
Yes.
Because they traveled. Now, actually even forgot to mention, right? Part of one of the reasons why I would prefer to be there is because of the amount that nurses are being paid over there. Like the financial aspect of it. I kind of like omitted it. I really did not want to throw it out there because that is even supposed to be the number one. But I
Okay.
had to make
You
list
said
of
because of the amount nurses are being paid.
yes,
Or
the
remuneration.
salary and everything. Yeah, makes more sense. Because now you just said something. When you travel over there, gain more knowledge and come back,
Yes.
your salary is being increased. Why?
okay.
Because of the advancement you've gotten from there.
Okay, Amara. Let's look at this nurse.
Okay.
When all of us here went to medical school, why did we go to medical school? Were we putting the financial gain in front of us? The answer is no.
No, of course not.
If you go and ask every single medical student
Mm.
in third year, fourth year, you understand,
Mm-hmm.
including practicing doctors, we went into this profession with a zeal and enthusiasm that we are going to be saving lives.
Lives, yeah,
It's a
of course,
passion.
of course.
Yes, I know Nigeria
course.
can happen to you.
Exactly,
I know
I was
Nigeria
waiting for
can
that
just
part.
mess. Yeah, I know
I was
Nigeria can
waiting for
just
that part,
mess
yeah.
that passion
Yeah,
for you. But
yeah.
in all, I just feel we shouldn't lose focus for the purpose for which we came into the profession. Do you understand what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
say?
feel you.
That's as a Christian, I'll say long suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? With a hope that if I join my hands with you, Dr. K, and every other doctor, and say, how do we improve the services we provide here? How do we make it better? How do we compete with these people? We come together, the Medical Board Association comes together, say, okay, let's send XYZ number of doctors to this country, this country, this country. Learn this thing, learn this thing, learn this thing to perfection. Come back, impart this knowledge. Do you understand? Again, I'm not against traveling. I don't use the word against. I am concerned
Mm-hmm.
at the alarming rate of the number of doctors that are completely moving. They're moving their families and everything. They have no intentions to come back.
You cannot blame them.
Okay, can I just come in here before you continue?
Yes, please.
Do you think you have upper hand over there in this country as a nurse from Africa? Because I remember
Okay,
very
actually
well.
got me on that one.
I remember very well during the time of COVID.
Yeah.
I was told by a practicing nurse over there that is a Nigerian that some of the white folks they all stopped coming to work. So it's the black folks that are there that are
Line
they're
of fire.
pushing
We
with the
push
line
them.
of fire.
So if anything happens to you, you're good.
Okay, this is shots
So
fired.
now, do you think you have a upper hand over there?
Okay, this is you just put me on the spot, right?
Because
Just hold on. At that
You just
point,
put me on the
at that
spotlight.
point, now remember what I said. If you lose the goal, that the thought in your head that I came into this profession because of passion, right? Now you say you're just looking at the financial benefits, and you go there, and this scenario comes to play. Now you're no longer doing the job because of passion. You are being forced to do
To
it
do it,
because
yeah.
you're in a foreign land. You are being pushed forward as a person that is dispensable. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We all know the intention.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not doing this to discredit people working abroad. I'm not doing it in any way to do that. We're just having an open mic.
No, apart
conversation.
from that, I won't even say they are being pushed. All right. First of all, you talked about passion. Passion is the key
It's there,
thing.
yeah.
Passion
That's
is
the
where you
drive.
go.
Yeah.
Some of them, are the one that even volunteer to say, "I will go," because
Yeah,
they not
extra
increase,
The
the
pay.
pay.
So it has always been about the pay.
But
So-
in the process of doing the pay, it doesn't stop you from saving lives.
I agree. Okay, look at this.
Because at the end of the day, like you just mentioned, as an African, right? Majority of us that actually travel over there is for us to make more money, so we'll be able to send it back home. So it's not like we're
Do
actually
you really
doing.
make the money over there?
Question.
Of course.
Oh, look at me.
For instance, now, averagely, how much do you think nurses over there will be paid?
I mean, over $2,000 or something.
Do you have something to say to that?
Yes. So look at me. Look
Are
at
you
me. I'm a
joking?
doctor. You're
Okay.
a nurse.
Yeah.
You're looking at the 2,000 plus pounds that you might get, right? Now, proper, not just ordinary research. I've checked, and I want to tell you how juicy these offers are for we as doctors. Some doctors say entry level, you understand, in between £40,000. You can move up to £150,000. That's a lot of money.
Annually?
Yes, that's a lot of money. Do you understand? That's a lot of money for somebody to look at the condition here and say, what am I doing here? But now, look at this. Life in Nigeria is relatively cheaper than life in the UK. So let's use London. Say you're working in London, for an example. Housing is expensive in London. People in the video can attest to that. Housing is expensive in London. Say you're earning that £2,500. You're going to spend within 600 and above. Say you want to,
if you want to get a good apartment,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Depending on
no, be up to 1,000.
I'm looking at Nosamara like somebody that might want to mice, right?
Are you being
in a
serious?
condo.
Yeah.
Well, you're not doing this to
Because,
me.
hold on, because Nigerians, I know something. When
Yeah.
when you go abroad with the mindset of hustling, you tend to want to manage yourself to
Be able
manage
to have something.
your resources so that you can have something
something else.
to send
Send
back
home.
home. Now, look at it. Your taxes,
Hmm.
UK in London or UK, let me use UK. They don't joke with their tax.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they pay you salary and they take the tax. You don't really notice that much.
Yes.
Yeah, if I ask you now how many percent that the government takes from
You
you,
don't
say,
even know.
you don't know. Do you understand what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? So the taxes, then how much you're going to be spending on transportation,
Feeding.
feeding, and that's if you want to eat African food and you don't want to, you're a medical practitioner, you might
I should
you
eat
might
healthy.
just want to eat healthy.
Yeah, of
So
course.
and you know how we do farm to mouth.
Yeah, I
Yes,
feel
sometimes.
you. Yeah.
If you don't want farm to mouth, it's your choice. But in Nigeria, even in Lagos here, you can just go to direct market and you get farm to mouth. Do you understand what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? So your feeding, housing, transportation, please call anybody you
In
know.
these, electricity
No,
and
No,
all the
see,
You're
rest.
going too
I see
far.
what you both are trying to do
No,
here.
no, 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 no,
because
no. It is.
okay, I see what you're trying to do
I
here,
support
right?
you.
Because no, now you've already asked how much I earn over there.
Yes.
How much are doctors earning here? Now, because the thing is, I get the vibe.
Okay,
of the
before,
I
before
get
you
the
ask this
fact.
question, let me throw something on top of what Dr. Sammy just
Someone
said.
said, okay.
All right. If you are earning 8,000 to or 2,500 pounds, yeah, and you pay before you pay all your bills, housing, electricity, feeding, transportation, and you are left with about 300 pounds or 200 pounds,
Even 500 pounds. Let's say 500 pounds.
500 pounds. Do you understand? And before you can be earning 2,500 pounds, my dear, you will work. You will work the work.
We are all working
You
for
will
the
work the
money.
work.
Already. Yeah.
We're
Do you
all
understand?
working for it.
You will work the work,
Uh-huh.
and it will tell on your body over time. Yes, it will tell on your body over time. So now, how much will you save? You working over there now. There is a if you are working over here, as in you are working here rather, your family member will say, "I beg, I not be amara, how much be the salary that they pay them as nurse?" But when you're working over there, people will be looking up to you. Siblings we call, parents we call,
Whether you're
friends we
in, whether
call.
you're in and out of
It's
jobs.
a
Do you
norm.
understand? Now,
Even
it's
in
a norm.
Nigeria.
It's a norm. And you want to, you that I know, the Amaranth, I know that I've seen here, you want to do the good care that you are. Okay, make you let's manage, let's share because you like let's share. At the end of the day, that 500 pounds, what will be left?
That's even about the finances. Again, I'm not discouraging you from going. I want you to
No,
go.
you can't even discourage me.
Of course. I'm an Igbo girl. I'm not. I want so that people out there will not say, "Oh, Dr. Sam is just trying to defend the ill treatment that medical practitioners are receiving in
Experience over-
Nigeria or
yeah.
experiencing here."
Yeah.
Look, yes, it looks rosy over there, but when you compare your bills to what you are doing, right? You will now find out that okay, it's not just minus I am in the abroad. It's not so far. Yes, I understand there's career advancement. And
Yeah.
here in Nigeria, there is the burnout syndrome because with the number of people doing this japa, we here get that burnout. So we have to do double shifts anytime you're clocking out and somebody's calling you because you have the passion.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's still a 50-50 thing.
No, you're
because
saying-
as much as because for me, yeah, the only thing I'm seeing as a difference here is the fact that I'm African and I'm doing this job over there. I'm not doing it in my country. Because
Okay,
at the end of
now,
the day,
okay,
I
hold on.
am working
Hold
for my
on.
money over there as
Hold
much
on.
as the people I
Hold
left
on.
behind
I want
here.
to ask you a question. All right, I want to ask a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
First of all, you gave reasons.
Yeah.
Improvement, finance.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Facilities. What is your aim of going there to get all these things, in place? Do you intend to live all your life there, raise a family and stay there forever, or you intend to come back to your country?
I would
Yes-
love
yes
to
or no?
see-
That's the $1 billion question.
Yes
It's
or
the
no?
$1 billion question.
Yes or no?
to me on the spotlight.
No, yes or no? Do you intend to live all your life there, or your plan is to just go there, have a good life, then come back to your country?
I want to be there.
You don't want to come back.
No,
You want to
I
live all your
just wanna
life
be
there.
there. Yeah.
You don't want to ever come back to Nigeria to settle down here.
I'll just be visiting, but I want to be there.
Okay.
Okay,
Now-
Doc, let me address this.
Before you address, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
They said, if you are living in a glass house, don't throw stone.
Don't trust stones, true.
In the marketplace, don't throw stone because it might hit one of your own.
Yeah.
Now, all your family might not, it's not possible for you
For
to
them
move
to,
everybody
yeah,
there.
true.
So some will be here.
Some will be here. So that thing that you left here will still hit your family.
Who
And
will
when
take
it
care
hits
of
your
them?
family, it hits you indirectly.
I'll come back and take care of them myself.
Okay, you will come back and take care of them yourself. All right, you have to buy tickets, fly down to Nigeria.
Whenever
to
anybody
treat
has
them.
malaria.
Anybody has malaria to come. Now, because the reason why I'm asking, if you want to work there and make a lot of money and gather all the knowledge and come back to Nigeria and establish,
Is it
with the
different?
way you are, with the way you are spending, with the way you are living your life there, how many years will it take you to now raise up that money to buy all the facility, all the equipment you want to come and start your own establishment, here? How many
It's not
years?
even,
That
it's
is
not
one.
even possible.
Yeah, I
No,
feel
that's one. Then two, if you even come, things might even get worse, because as you're planning to japa, there are millions of people who are planning to japa. So if that million succeed in japaing, the whole country, the whole system is messed up. So when you come and meet a messed up situation in the country, worse than you left. So that's your money that you save, and all the information, all the knowledge and the skills you gather, when you come back, it will almost be useless.
true. I get what
That
you.
is one. That is one. Hmm?
Okay.
That is one. Then, if you choose to stay there, you don't want to come back. Do you want to take your mom there, your dad, your sister, your brothers, your cousin, everybody there?
So the thing is, right, you really cannot save everybody.
Okay.
Because even, I'm sorry I have to say this, even when God instructed Noah to build the ark, he said only male and female. It wasn't the whole animals in the world that entered, right? So my point is, even when I move over there, I might not be able to save everybody.
Okay.
If I had the willpower to, I would have actually said, let me bring my whole family over. But right now, I think I'll just have to face or focus on my image, because I mean, it's not just my family. I have friends whom I'm also leaving behind. So I think I'll just focus on my immediate family. Like you mentioned, would I want to like stay there, train my children there, do all that? Those are my immediate family. But it doesn't mean I'm going to neglect everybody that is here. I might just render the much assistance or the little assistance I can help. Maybe give
Do you
medical
think before
advices and all that.
let me just go on another route here.
Okay.
Do you think it's better for you to raise your children over there in their abroad or here?
I know what you're doing here, but I'm going to answer your question. Yes. Yes, I would prefer to train my children abroad. I mean, I'm
Whoa.
going to actually, face you on that, because you mentioned a couple of things that, as a nurse here, you get to, enjoy. You mentioned being able to pay your rent
Yes.
compared
Cost
to
of
when
living.
I'm there.
Cost
Yeah,
of
cost of
living.
living, exactly. Now, if I have two kids, for instance, right? I have two children over there. You mentioned paying house rent out of my salary, paying of tax out of my salary, and then other little bills that I'll have to take off it. Do you know that my children actually have educational freedom? Yeah, like they can go to school without me even paying their school fees. I mean, that one is off my shoulders already. Now we talk about the medical fees and everything. God forbid they fall ill tomorrow. If I get to admit them and all, I don't have any need to actually pay for their medical fees and
Okay,
all.
so
That one is also
you are
off my
standing on free
shoulders.
education and free medicals for your children.
Exactly. Now, this is something that they get to benefit
That's another point.
from my sector just because I'm actually a nurse working over there. Do you understand? Now, you also made mention of being able to pay rent as a Nigerian here. You, as my senior colleague, yes, I'm sorry, I said I need to attack you on this, or you as my senior colleague, because I know there are times when you guys go on strike. What is the cost of the strike? Now, they manage to increase your salary. That's when you now start hearing inflation of things in the market. You cannot even fund for the kind of lifestyle that you want. Why? Because you're basically living within your ends meet, within whatever it is you're making from your place of work. So please,
Okay,
please.
I will throw this to you now. Nasamara just brought out a very vital point. Free education, free medical for your children. And we know medical here is not cheap. Education, if your children are going to a very good school, a standard school, you know how much that is.
Talking millions.
So how much is your salary? Or how much is our salary to afford those kind of schools that we actually want for our children and the kind of medicals we want for them. And if I want to look deep, she said something about we going on strike. I know the reason why we go on strike. Sometimes salary will be far from us for 2 3 months. Let me put it that way. I believe everybody understand what it means. So with this little point that she just dropped on the table, don't you think working abroad is a bit preferable?
You shouldn't even be thinking it.
Okay. um, the working condition abroad is way better than what we have here. So I want you to understand my point of view. I'm not discouraging anybody from working abroad. I just want us to look at it this way. Even our politicians, they travel abroad to chill and come back and do their politics in Nigeria. Do
Point.
you understand? So if just imagine when you become a politician, just japa and leave the country.
Politicians that are making
Hold on, hold on. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That those people are even making more money than you, and they still come back. Hold on, and they
Okay.
still come back.
okay.
Now, we are making the medical sector look like. Let me tackle that one first. You say we go on strikes and the rest. You already know that most of the reason, most times when we go on strike is because of strategic policies that the government has placed that is not favoring the whole medical sector, that is crippling it.
Now,
So we-
falling back to the, that's why I said over there, nurses are being held on high regard.
Yes, I understand. The system is already structured. We are in a developing country. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'll give a good example before I go further.
So we are upcoming.
Because and
You
it
can-
will take 1,000 years.
Oh,
No,
before
no,
you-
no. Let me give you an example.
You cannot compare medically. You cannot compare
Well,
Nigeria
yeah,
of
that's-
10 years ago
and now-
to
Okay.
Nigeria.
No,
now.
even 5 years ago.
But it's, the thing is, the people that were
We're
there.
far improved.
Let me
No,
tell you something.
I agree.
I will-
I
I will
agree. But the people
withhold-
that were probably pushing for it, are they even still standing to even
No,
witness
hold
it?
on, hold on. I will withhold the
Okay.
name of a particular colleague of ours, senior colleague of ours. Like, say, 20 years back, he started fighting for a better medical environment in River State. He was going on TV then, and only this man single-handedly transformed the experience, medical experience. You know, normally, first of all, in Nigeria, many people are not they are not open to even going to run any tests or even go to the hospital. They like to just stay in their houses, and it has led to a lot of deaths, right? But this man single-handedly, from broadcast, nobody was doing it. It first of all looked like he was joking. He was spending money unnecessarily. Maybe one politician has given him money. No, he went abroad like you and every other of our colleagues.
Yeah.
He learned and he came back. He sat down and said, okay, how do I transform this? Now, guess what? The money you're running abroad to get with your shift and everything together, you can't miss this. That man today, he's the one paying people that money. He has one of the biggest hospitals in River State. Do you understand? Because he chose to come back with the knowledge and make a difference.
Okay, so
One
now
out of
imagine if
1,000.
we have
One out of
listen
1,000.
now, listen. If we have in a country of over 200 million population, if we have just 5 million people with this mindset, don't you think this country would be a better place?
Only then. That's why I keep
Don't
saying
you-
one
don't
out
you
of
think
1,000
people
because
abroad
Why can't
come
you be
from
part
America?
of the one
Why
out
ca-
of a
yes.
thousand?
let me just go there and finish advancing my knowledge. Then I will think
Man, you're
about
not coming
it.
back unless we tell the British authorities that look at this woman, bring her back after XYZ number of years. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
If all of us come back, so he did mention with figures, a
Yeah.
country with over 200 and something million people. Why not sit back and see a solution? Like, the problem is so much people, the population, some people living in rural, urban areas, some people not having access to good road, water, which might lead to sickness and different
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
diseases and outbreak. So why not look at it and say, how can I step in and solve something? From your NYC, the government has started trying to indoctrinate you to see how you can do your CDS, your own community development service. Do you understand? I remember when I was serving, there's this vet. The boy, what he did was, we were in a village, nobody will come and acknowledge him. Nobody will come and acknowledge him. This is the heart that I'm talking about. Nobody will come and acknowledge him. What people will refer to as Inkita Bingo, that doesn't look like he's worthy of treatment.
A cookie.
A cookie.
Yeah.
Now, even in that state, some people eat it. Do you understand? They eat that that dog. The dog had multiple kids, were opposite it. We're living close to the bush. What he did was he looked at the dog. CDS day, he called the owner, spoke Yoruba to the man in Ondo State, and told him that he would like to give some vaccines to these dogs, and the kids, since they just gave birth, he was explaining. The guy doesn't understand. The guy said, "We'll just go ahead and do it." He did it out of his pocket. You understand? And you know how expensive taking care of animals are. He did it out of his pocket, injected all the dogs and everything. And over time, the dog gave birth to other kids again. And he, till we left that place, he kept on doing
same
what
thing.
he could do. This is just one copper from his own
Pocket,
small this thing alawi, and then it was 18,000 plus, or 19 something, 18,700, something like that. He was doing it from his own pocket. Now that is one person that has chosen to make a difference. Regardless, you will not say abroad, you see, they have catchers, they have safety this to do that. That dog could easily beat him, but no, he went ahead to do his work. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That man can't pay him.
At all.
I teach the man's children, and they give me cocoyam as payment. Cocoyam.
At least you ate now.
No, I'm just trying to tell you, they're giving me cocoyam as payment. Check cocoyam,
That's what
they
you
use
feel
cocoyam buy
for.
TV. You understand? That
That's what
cocoyam
you
way you
feel
know
for.
fit sell. So the point I'm trying to make is, if all of us can be a little bit, and just say, I'm not asking for too much, a little bit more patriotic. Okay, now let's make it open to the country. Everybody. We make it look like medical doctors, the medical practitioners are suffering the most. Do you know that there are other walks of life in Nigeria that earn less than you as a nurse? Have you looked at the police? Have you looked at, yes, I am not supporting, look, police all over the world do not earn well.
I know. Feel you.
Even go to
I'm
the
supporting
UK, to America,
Mm.
they don't earn well. So we just make it look like it's only us, us, us. And I think at some point it feels selfish. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If we put on our thinking caps as medical doctors, the police, even our own is even better than the police,
Far
because
better.
you
Far,
are
far
on,
better.
yes, exactly, because sure, you see police now today, some of them after work they drive Korope and the rest. You think they really want to do that? Their work has so much prestige that they shouldn't do that, but they are doing something to earn a living. They are not complaining, right? As much as they are complaining, but they are not coming out to say, "Oh, let's japa and join US police and join UK police." So if you, myself, sit down and say, like I said before, and say, okay, we need knowledge, we need this. This is a challenge. How do we solve it? I can tell you, whenever you solve problem, money comes along. Look at India. Look at how much India transformed herself. India is a third world country. But today we dey japa go India for medical treatment. What would you say about that?
And they
Nigeria,
have
yeah,
one of the best medicine
best,
ever.
yes.
Ever,
So
yeah.
so Indians have found a way. You can't just put everything on the government, because they have a higher population. Anything you
Yeah,
want to
true.
brag about, they have it worse. But somehow those Indians have transformed it that we also seek medical aid from them. So
No.
how did they do that?
No. Talking about that, yeah. You started from our local. I will hear somebody telling me that. Now I have to say this. I have to be real. I don't drink agbo. The problem you have with agbo, you don't have the doses. You cannot mention. You cannot do this.
The
you cannot do that,
properties
you
and
you
everything.
don't even know
Yes,
what they put
yeah.
together and all that.
Yeah.
When I ask somebody, I say the medicine that will take the antibiotics, what are they made from? Because our senior colleague he kept quiet. I say, can you tell me all these antibiotics I will take, what are the ingredients they are using to make them?
It's on the label. It's boldly written on the label. It's just, again, I don't want to say we are lazy.
No, listen. You know the reason why he kept quiet? Because him himself, I know where he came from. His father
The roots.
is an Abba doctor.
The roots.
His father is an Abba doctor. And he treated many people for years. And there are some roots they were giving to him while he was growing. How come you never died?
If only we have
So-
a pharmaceutical, indigenous
Something,
pharmaceutical firm in
Nigeria.
Now,
Nigeria.
so apart from even traveling abroad, and apart from the fact that the government is not doing this is not doing that, there is a lot we can do for ourselves. There are awareness we can create. Do you understand? I will just touch some little part. The regular sickness, malaria. If you can avoid mosquito to a default, then you can avoid malaria to a reasonable extent. You can escape malaria to a reasonable extent. Clean water.
So
The kind of
so part of Europe also have that because they've successfully pushed mosquitoes.
Do you understand?
So kind of
Now, good waters, food, roadside food. These people need to survive. So they need people to patronize them. So, but if you create good environment for these people that sell that roadside food, they will cook with clean water. Everything about them is very neat. Then you won't find yourself today having running stomach, diarrhea, having typhoid and all that. Even the good life, in quote, can still give you typhoid. So first of all, personal hygiene matters a lot.
So now this goes to individuals. Because
Not
the
just
thing
the
is-
government.
No, that's what
Now,
that's what I'm saying.
for
It goes to
instance,
individuals.
This studio here now, if we open this studio down, mosquito will come in. And if you sleep here, mosquito will beat you. So no matter your amount, you have 10 million in your account, you will still be sick. So starting from this point, let's even keep our environment very, very neat, very, very clean. We have a lot of sickness there. There is cancer here, there is kidney failure here, liver failure there, typhoid, malaria, hepatitis B, C, name them. But if you play your own part, it will reduce the number of people that comes to the hospital.
Hospital, sure.
That's one thing I want us to look at. Then traveling abroad, I will sit on the fence. This is what I will say to Samara.
Okay.
Good. If you travel abroad, you will learn a lot.
Of course.
Improvements here and there.
Yeah.
The life over there, in quote, is soft. The weather, 24 hours light. Facility in place.
Yeah.
Good road, good this, good that. You are paying tax, but you are seeing what you are paying for. Do you get?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is nowhere like home. Your mother's land is your mother's land.
Sure. No,
One day they feel wake up and repatriate you more for that country.
of course, if they have more than look, why is it that they give you that preferential treatment? It's because you have a service you're offering, the value, right? It's like an exchange. I don't want to call it modern day slavery because they have people
It
as
is.
well. Yeah, exactly. They have people as well that can do that, right? But because the indigens, I want to use the word indigens, they're citizens. Most of them don't want to lift a finger to do anything. So they'll take you. I keep saying it, no country opens their border to just help anybody. No,
Nah.
you are the one helping them.
Nah.
Do you understand? Now, I want to make a point. I don't know if you've heard of this popular story about the Orca made gun. Even if you stay in the south side, you hear.
Okay, sorry for cutting you short. Let me end that point. There are people who will just surface and say this guy can cure this sickness with herbal
And you will just be
medicine.
saying it.
Now, one or two people will go there. By the time you now see that it's true, the next minute that person
Or even
disappears.
close to the truth.
The next minute you will not see that person again. You start looking for those people instead of the system to empower them. I don't know what happened.
That's a medical conspiracy. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Do you understand
Medical
now?
conspiracy.
No, I just want to throw some inch here and there.
Yeah.
But other countries, we still have people like this.
And they disappeared too in other countries as well. I had one in South Africa. He disappeared. One in the US, he disappeared. So if you go, like I said, we refer to it.
So
in
sorry,
media,
for
conspiracy.
that your knowledge, there is a level you will get so vast where it becomes a problem to you.
Can I point something? This thing you just said now is very closely in line with what I was about to say before.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to
Okay.
complete it. Complete what you were saying. I was talking about if you've heard about the Orca made gun. You know Orca now
Yeah.
in Anambra, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So somebody shoots a gun and they'll say, that one
The
Orca
Orca made.
it's an imitation and the rest. Now I wouldn't get this history exactly the way it is, but you would understand the point I'm trying to make. It means that in Oka they were inventing inferior weapons. Do you understand? They were inventing inferior weapons.
And those little weapons
Now,
was named after
yeah,
them.
and
After
named
them, yeah.
after that place. So, what would a functional military and government do in that situation? Oh, these guys are operating illegally. So, but they have the technical know-how
Knowledge, yeah.
to have created this
Something
thing.
like that,
So,
yeah.
this is what I will do. I will go seal the environment and try to fish out the set of persons with this skill. Then we'll look forward to improving on it and making sure that we control it.
Yeah.
The
True.
same thing they do with nuclear. Oh, this country,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
trust them to
yeah.
control. It's just about control. Control it. Before you know it, we have our own gun. Now we are
Instead
using
of
AKs.
importing, yeah.
AK was invented by somebody in Russia.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The guns we are using today, you hear Israeli, the American, but how many guns do we have? Now, that is the part that these bodies and the government has to play in this. When you hear somebody is, I don't want to mention in our brothers in some part of the southern part of Nigeria, you see a lot of fake drugs that they sell. So for the first thing you need to think about is what brought this person to the point where they can actually encapsulate drugs. They can package drugs and everything together. What I see is a pharmaceutical company in the making. You say, yes, we need pharmacologists, we need this XYZ scientists to be able to do. No, 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 no. If we put our brains together, we have smart people,
Yeah,
we
we
have
can make it work.
people that do these things some sort of naturally. Do you understand? The best mathematician might not be necessarily a mathematician. He might be a physician. He might be somebody that studied something else, but stumbled upon it. So if we can harness these things together, bits and pieces, like you said, bits and pieces, we might just be able to have our own pharmaceutical company, indigenous one, that functions. You understand? And put in money. Okay, if we need to bring expatriates from India, from every other country, people that have done it well, and come, they teach us. It's a trade, for crying out loud. It's a trade. It's a trade. So if we are able to lock this thing down, before you know it, we start the so-called herbalist. We start we bring Bobo Nishe, we test it. We say, okay, the composition is no, this is too much, this is too much. What are the ingredients you use for this thing? Okay, this herb is rich in this. Let's extract and get what we need to get. We have our own drugs. I can tell you for free, in line with the conspiracy theory, we will stumble upon medical breakthroughs that the world probably might not have given.
Now, I believe with what you just said, you went really deeper than I thought. So the truth is that Nasa Marana is beginning to change her mind from Jack Barring. So
Who told you
you
that?
sure?
Who told you that?
your mind is still there.
Who told you that?
Your mind is still
No,
there.
I'm still going.
But now, it's not like I'm trying to encourage the traditional
Jackba,
medicine.
come back and train our nurses.
It's not like I'm trying to
Bring the standard.
encourage 100% the traditional medicine, but you can't take it away from the root of Africa. All right. Growing up, I know I'm not practicing doctor, but growing up, I know how I grew up. I know the concoction my mother mixed, and they actually worked for me. There is a leaf in our place called, some people call it votes leaf, some people call it independence leaf. So, but way back in what we call it share leaf. I remember that when you have a terrible headache or migraine, my mother would just go and plug that, you squeeze it together, wash it, squeeze it, and drop the water in your two eyes.
Take it in faith, and that's it.
And-
You believe.
And
What's
that's
that magic?
very, very effective. Like, or by the time my mother take us to the pharmacy and they give us this drug, we take, it's not working. You just speak our language. You not die kufia. Do you understand? They just go and plug that in and they apply. And before you know what's happening, before 1 or 2 times, you do it in the morning, do it in the evening, the following day, the headache disappear. So now, when I grew up and I started doing research on my own on some things, and I asked, what's up with that leaf? Why is it that if the malaria is very high in your system, it's very pepperish? in your eyes where they squeeze the liquid inside. But if the malaria is not much, it's not that pepperish. I said, why is it so? Now, somebody now told me, an elderly person, he said this is what they use for test results during the ancient time.
To know the degree. If it's a
Yes.
plus plus.
Yeah.
So this is what they use. So by the
Wow.
time they squeeze, they get the leaf, they squeeze it and put it in your eyes.
Check
And
your reaction.
Yes, your reaction,
Technology.
how long it takes before your eyes could open again. Because you just keep blinking, you feel, the
The
thing is
hotness,
hurting you.
yeah.
So you keep blinking. But if you just blink and say malaria when the body not plenty. Typhoid when the body not plenty.
Yeah, you
Do
need
you
to know
understand?
that they were not stupid
So
people.
now
Right.
that was for a very long time. And this same leaf, they were using it to stop blood.
Bleed.
If you have injury and you're
Of
bleeding
course.
very
Clotting.
yes.
To help the white blood cells.
So now before we have iodine, spirit, and all the rest, this is what we're using.
Such a system, right?
But today, for you to even see those leaves,
It's hard.
real estate don't it don't clear all the
Yeah,
operation.
now this in Amara's in her favor, right? These processes that our forefathers, so they even put in effort to do these things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They put in effort. And if you were coming from another village to a village where these things are good, you even hear them, they say, go to that village, there's somebody that can treat. Do you understand? So he's a known medical doctor there. Like he's a known Harvard
Harvard
practitioner
doctor, yeah.
there. So now the thing again is divulging that information. Some of them die with it.
True.
Do you understand? Passing it from so
Generation to
yeah,
generation.
exactly, not just generation. It doesn't have to be in your family, right? If other people are interested, being your apprentice and all that together, the Western world were able to
You know the reason why I'm saying this? You know the reason why you mentioned it when we started.
yes,
And the reason I went back to it is because I have a lot of people, who travel to China for medical.
yeah,
And they will tell you
they still go traditional. They still go traditional.
till date.
They still. Let me tell you
The
something.
Chinese
Can
man
I-
will still go
as
traditional.
colleagues, sorry, I won't speak perfectly as a medical doctor here. Now, unfortunately, when we handle certain cases, terminal cases, and we say, we give a medical verdict based on our experience,
Experience, yeah.
and say this thing is far gone. So at this point, maybe we just send the person to hospice. Then that person chooses to go traditional. Do you understand? There are some recorded cases where we've given the verdict and those people survived because they go traditional. Now, some people will claim that the mind has a lot to do with your healing.
Yeah, healing, true.
The mind has a lot. If you
I
think you're
agree.
sick, you'll be sick. It's a fact. Do you understand? If you go and meet a psychologist, they will tell you whatever you think you are, you might just be it at the time being. Now, what I was trying to point out again about the traditional treatment is what we had in that time. The Western world were able to boycott it and modernize it. So you have test strip, you understand, where places where you can basically look at bacteria, viruses in
I
the
see
molecular
them,
form
yeah,
like
I
that.
see them,
You
yeah.
understand what I'm trying to say? So what did we do? That's where my issue is at. What did we do to take the knowledge of our forebears to the next level? They took it to the next level. What Albert Einstein and his colleagues did,
Yeah.
they've perfected it. Today now you hear nuclear weapons everywhere. It's just from one person's knowledge that was made available, just in bits and pieces. Everybody else developed it. So what can we do? That is where my point comes in. We are all going there. We're going to start using test strip, whatever has been invented. They just teach us how to use it. Yes. So what can we do to improve ours other than just depending on them? If tomorrow Nigeria has issues with the way diplomats behave, if we have issue with this country, they say, okay, we no longer provide medical supplies, then we'll be stranded. This is my concern. But if we put our heads together, they say two good heads are better than one, not just two heads.
Yeah.
So if we put our heads together, support those ones from the grassroots. It's going to help in two ways. It will help us develop our own original treatments. Of recent, South Africa just declared that they've gotten treatment for HIV, but I am yet to confirm. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the country has been plagued with this, and they sat down and looked into it to try to get a solution. Whether they get it right or not, I commend the effort.
Yeah, the
That's
fact that they
there's a
actually,
process.
Yes,
yes, the
there's a
fact that
process
they
that has
sort
been
of to think
initiated.
it, yeah.
But we here, I'm just saying that if we are able to also affix our mind to say we must bring these things,
Come up with something.
now it's going to help eliminate the unprofessional practices, because by the time they find out that yes, we are now transforming Bobo Niche. I'm using Bobo Niche as an example because it's no particular drug. Bobo Niche XYZ. We are now the Nigerian pharmaceutical whatever is now transforming it to XYZ drug for so treatment.
Treatment, yeah.
This one for
And,
so
and it has been
treatment.
tested and
Yeah.
approved.
So
Yeah.
nobody moving forward. No, even the people doing Bobo Niche will be coming to sell to us that okay, this we test and say okay, this is pure.
And
we
guess
use
what?
it.
The thing is, the even for instance, where if the cost of that bubble now is like 500 naira right now,
Mhm.
by the time it's being tested, and then a lot of people like the information has gone out that this bubble is growing a lot of things. The price of that thing now will no longer be 500.
We will start exporting. So look at the way it is.
Now, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you can go into it's an expensive business. Don't get me wrong. Developing drugs is an expensive business. Go and check all the big pharmaceutical companies all over the world. That's why even when you go to the pharmacy, you see a particular drug, maybe let's say um, a drug for maybe say a cream for fungi. You see XYZ company is selling for 10,000 naira.
Why
This other
XYZ
company
is
is
selling for-
6,000 or something like that. Same drug. If you go and
Same
check
use,
very
same
well
everything.
concentration, you find out that because this particular company has
Has,
now gained the trust, this other person is breaking in. This is just basic business, right? Most times, the owners of pharmaceutical businesses are not even doctors, they're just in for the profit. The scientists are the ones concerned about the safety. Can we just do these drugs and send them? WHO, what does WHO do? Basically, you get they try to provide these drugs, right, to the entire world at a reduced cost. That's where you start hearing this XYZ foundation. I don't want to call names again. You hear this foundation, they are pushing these drugs. COVID time, you got vaccinated for free, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody paid for it.
Okay. I am, I am overwhelmed with this conversation so far. We can go on and on and on and on and on, and we won't stop this conversation. But this is what I want to say. I believe this section we teach a lot of people things that they need to know in and out of this country. There is no place like home.
Yeah, I agree.
But if home is not giving you what you want, you can actually leave home.
Don't be at ease in Zion.
All right, you can leave home.
Of course.
So we are not saying that
Don't
to
travel,
travel
yeah.
is wrong. No.
No.
I have a lot of people who travel abroad, and today they are doing very well medically. All right. Why some people are still here and doing very well medically. I've seen doctors who, they invited them over out of Nigeria to go and treat people in other country and come back. Yes. Yes. I know. Not one, not two, not three. All right. So please, and I still have doctors who left here. They will tell you that it's not like we now started learning again. It's just an addition to what we know before now, just to improve here and there. They still come back to the country and do things. So, but if we put hands together, we can make Africa great again.
Yeah, true.
If we put hands together, we can make Africa great again. All right? We've said a whole lot, the benefit to stay back, because if you japa, your people still there. You get. But if you want japa to make life better for them, it's fine. If you're abroad and they are paying you $5,000 and your bills, for a month is just $2,000, you still have $3,000 to yourself. If you have that kind of offer, japa. Or make all of us know japa. And for those when you japa for a purpose, for a reason. Give yourself time frame. As I'm going to this country, let me just survive here. Let me work. Let me improve myself for another 5 years. and everything that I've learned here, everything that I've made here, let me go back to my country and see how to improve my country. Don't go and spend 40 years adding to your age in abroad where you won't buy now, you can't come back, make up buy for you, make them bury you for you. We can't make the country great.
We also need your fresh brain.
We need your
yeah.
fresh
We
brain.
need it. Not when you're
All right.
old, you come and sit
So
and say, when I
please,
practiced
I
abroad.
understand that the government here, the system here is somehow, but we put our hands together and fix it. All right. America today, America seniors.
People
the
fought
United-
against the government.
The United Kingdom seniors. How old is Nigeria?
Nigeria is a youth.
Yeah.
Is a youth.
We are still
60
in our,
years.
we
We
are
are
still,
baby,
we are,
we're
we are
still
still, we are
growing.
still, we are
60
still
years
growing.
plus.
We are still growing. So I believe we will get it right. But we need that unity, that
Together
oneness
we
of mind.
can.
Yes, together we can
Yeah.
to fix Nigeria,
Yeah.
to fix Africa.
That's the
Let me
punchline.
tell you, Africa is the most rich continent in the world.
No
doubt. No doubt.
Without apology,
Okay,
Africa
yeah.
is the most rich continent in the world.
I'll follow
Trust me.
this Gen Z nurse.
Don't do
Do you
that.
understand? So, but it's not actually bad to travel. You can go for your medical school. Some people just, okay, I want to go and do masters in London. I want to go and do masters in US.
Major
I
in
want to spend
something,
1 year,
yeah.
2 years, 3 years, 5. Most of them say, I'm spending just 3 years in the US and I'm coming back 5 years. And they actually went and they came back. So we can make our own great.
Yeah.
It will not be a bad idea that a British person will say, let me go Nigeria for this treatment. Somebody from the US, okay, let me just go to Lagos
We
or go to
can do
Ibadan,
it.
for
Amen,
this
oh.
treatment.
We can do it.
We can
Amen.
get to that
I
level.
believe in us.
Amen.
We can
That's
get
my
to
dream.
that level.
That's my dream.
After all, now they not get agbo where they cure malaria, but we
Where
get
they
them
want
here.
to see up.
So that's on the lighter note. So thank you
Yeah.
very much. Please, wherever you see this video, share to educate the entire world, the entire Africa and the globe. Share this video, comment, drop your thought. All right. We love you. Thank you very much. I remain Dr. K. All right, guys, before we wrap this section, I want to tell you that your life is in your hands. All right. Mind what you eat. Take your health seriously. When was the last time you went to the hospital or to the laboratory to do a comprehensive test on your body? Some people, for the last 5 years, they have not done comprehensive tests. Hepatitis, HIV, kidney, liver functions, cholesterol. Some people don't even know their cholesterol level, if it is high, if it is low. Sugar, you don't even know if it is high, if it is low. All these things matters a lot. It matters. Drink a lot of water. Do exercise as much as you can. Cut away some habits. You see this one today, you won't chop. Sit down tomorrow, you won't chop. And after, at the end of the day, my sister, you're trying to lose belly fat, lower belly fat, Christian mother, and just the way you guys call it. Some of all these things has to do with habit. Sometimes look to your generation, look your grandmother, look your mother, if they're on the big size. It might actually tell you, how you look like when you are at their age. All right. So it's now from that age 20, age 18, 25, 26, 28, 30, 30 something. That's when you need to start watching your weight, watching what you eat, drink a lot of water, eat a lot of fruit, a lot of veggies. All right. We need all of this. If your immune system is strong, it can fight malaria, it can fight typhoid, it can fight a lot of things. So take your health seriously. Some of us don't do exercise. Before you they walk, you are busy. Your blood pressure is high. So please do regular medical checkup. The little time you have to do exercise. If you can avoid eating late night, avoid it. I heard a friend of mine telling me, say, me I thank God, oh, as I did my belly, anytime when I eat it, they digest. Oh. If you eat 2 o'clock, now waiting God say bless me. They deceive yourself. So it's very, very important. Every workforce, entertainers, government parastators, every workforce, all right, find time to do exercise. Don't be say around 12 midnight, 11, you dey eat one full bowl of eba. Somebody say, if you not be full, if not be akbu 6 to 6, you know go on my body. Calm down. All right, calm down. And for those who will buy, soda. Instead of you to use water to eat your food, you are using soda. You're drinking minerals. You're eating rice, you're drinking minerals. You're eating swallow, you're drinking minerals instead of water. Some people they are using juice, so they enjoy. Now juice, if I not see juice, and if they now the juice they make her they go down, make her they go down. A lot is going down there that you don't know. So please eat healthy, keep your body clean, and stay put on this channel because there is a lot you'll be learning from this channel medically. All right, I'm just begging every one of us, young fools. You will be say every now you the shoe block. Arthritis they come, rheumatism they come. They say if not be if the time not cold, I'll make it cold. If you're not cold, I know if you chop. Take room temperature sometimes. All right. And if you know you're on the big side, either male or female, please mind what you eat. Do exercise. Burn fat, burn calories. It's very, very important. As with the hustle, the money, with the hustle, bustle, and bustle, so take care of yourself. Forget about organic creams. They are, of course, some of them are working. But if you eat right, if you take a lot of fruit, take a lot of water, it will reflect on your skin. You will look younger than your age. So it's very, very important. And for my dude and babes, they be say they like a shark alcohol, shark alcohol. Calm down, no. Not be bad thing to shark the alcohol, but do one with sense. Say me, I dey smoke, I dey kpakpa. I can smoke for Africa. If I never smoke, my head need to come down. Don't worry, I get one tea when I buy, we smoke as a drink. My people, we say provision is better than cures, but the reward, prevention, is better than cure. All right, if you can prevent it, why not? And there are some habits you can just work on. Be disciplined. In conclusion, I will tell you there are two pain in life, that you must face as a human. You can't dodge one. You must face one of them, which is the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. To wrap this section, I ask you, what pain do you want to choose today for yourself? Is it the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? Thank you very much. I remain Dr. K. Share, like, comment. Let's spread this video across the world to educate the world. All right. I love you till I see you again.